Vivian asks the nearby towns and taverns east side of where she lived, still within the House of Knighthood. She posts wanted pictures of her brother Arkus, asking anyone and everyone if they've seen the Min before. She finally finds her answer after months of tracking his scent. At first, Arkus hides himself along with Canida in the trees until he realizes that she can smell him. "What are you doing here, Vivian?" "I came looking for you. I've been searching for months just to find you." "Yes, but what are you doing here?" Vivian winced in the face before she replies, "We need you back at home, Arkus." "You mean you need me back?" Vivian paused again before speaking in a more calm tone, as if she is confessing. "Yes, I need you back, Arkus. The others are gone, Olivia, May and Faye. They all left, leaving me alone inside of that big mansion." "Sounds deserving." Vivian hugs at her arms. "I can't stay in that big mansion all by myself. Say you'll come back with me, Arkus." Arkus turns to leave. The answer is no. Vivian looks shocked, then trembles with anger. With balled fists, she speaks calmly before smiling with a little laugh. "I knew this would happen. That's you'd say that. You always did with me. I never understood why. If you won't come back with me." Vivian slowly withdrew her sword and pointed it out towards Arkus. "Then I will have to make you." She wields a bright, shining blade of celestial magicka and stares Arkus down. Upon hearing the appearance of her sword, Arkus stops and slowly turns to see that Vivian was serious in her demand. Without pause, Arkus turned to face her, his own bright blue shining sword appearing in his right hand, eyes cold on his sister. "You always had to have it your way, Vivian. So be it." Arkus would take a stance, sword raised with the blade facing upward near his face. Vivian clicked her teeth at seeing. The pained look in her face expressed itself as Arkus took to arms against her without hesitation. She then realized the Vulcan girl that stood behind him and turned up her nose. "I thought I smelled something foul. She's with you?" "She is," Arkus said sternly, his eyes locked on his sister, pose unflinching. Vivian lowered her head with a dry, sinister smile, then huffed. "She looks rather pathetic hiding behind you like that." "You don't look so good yourself there, Vivian," Arkus said flatly. This marked insult wasted no time in wiping the grin off Vivian's face, who glared into him with renewed anger. "Fine, then let's get this started." Arkus said nothing. Vivian began to approach him, her sword at her side. She still wore that sinister smile on her face, almost mad in nature. Arkus still did not move. The closer Vivian approached, the faster she would move, till she was in full sprint. Her smile never altered. Not even her and Arkus collided with swords, Vivian letting out a war cry, though the two seemed evenly matched as they struck blades and was at a connected standstill. Canida noticed that Vivian shook against their strain, while Arkus stood staring into her. There was a moment of struggling silence before the sister would speak through seethed teeth full of venom. "She that important to you?" "She is." Vivian was forced to break the struggle of power, using her white wings to leap back some distance from Arkus, who only straightened from his defensive stance, still staring down his sister. Vivian began to shake again with fury. "Don't look at me like that, Arkus!" Arkus said nothing. His cold stare into her spoke volumes of where he and his sister stood, and it was clear to Vivian now. She attempted to match her brother's hard staring, but would break into more angered shaking when he wouldn't back down. "I said, stop looking at me like that." With white fury fueling her, Vivian ran towards Arkus again, releasing a flurry of swipes and swings with her sword. With his sister attacking with hate and anger, he easily dodged every attack, just like when they were younger. However, this time was different. He no longer found it funny nor adorable. Swipe after swipe, clash after clash, Vivian would miss her mark, which caused her to become more infuriated, and thus careless to the point of her lashing out a sudden bolt of celestial energy from her mouth in a screech, looking to catch Arkus off guard. Arkus quickly dodged out of the attack and caught Vivian by the wrist with a harsh grip that forced out another screech from his sister and drop her sword before she would go tumbling across the snowy ground in a roll. She'd quickly recover before Arkus could make his next move, but he did not. She was taxed, breather hard, and wounded by the look of her holding at her wrist. She bore burning eyes of hatred for her brother, who continued to look down at her with the same notion. Vivian gave one last look of spite to Kaneda before she would give a half attempt to attack Kaneda with another celestial blast, having it rebuked by Arkus's blocking blade. He stared dangerously at Vivian before he would lower his sword and turn to walk away again. "Go home, Vivian." Vivian, huffing and panting, was on the verge of tears. Watching her beloved brother's back to her like that was too much for the proud Volcari to bear, and tears began to stream down her face and blur the visage of her leaving brother. The pain of seeing him leave her alone once again crushed Vivian to the point where she let out a heartfelt screech of agony that could pierce the ears of those nearby.